hospitality in the future, it's going to really develop in an interesting way because, first of all, it's all linked to travel. So it means more and more people are traveling. They are wanting to discover the world in new and more interesting ways, either more authentic ways or to maybe become closer to nature in some sense. So it's all right being in an urban environment, and here I am in the urban environment of the Four Seasons in Milan, but it actually doesn't feel that way because it's a beautiful garden and you can hear the birds. So how to consolidate this idea of, you know, urban hotels or urban spa with nature? Well, in my case, I'm more interested in outside. I'm less interested in the city. I'm more interested in out in the mountains or near the ocean, which is where I go, in fact, to chill out. But if you're traveling for business, then, you know, business is quite a stressful thing these days. It's very, very demanding. And as a designer, you know, I have like 4 lives. I'm meeting people, I do all the press, but I'm also a designer, and so I need time for that. And often I go to great hotels and I rent a great room with a lovely terrace just so I can draw. For me, that's a great privilege. So let's not forget that people are also integrating hospitality, wellness, and so on in everyday life. It's not just a special thing once or twice a year. We talk about design and we talk about architecture. You know, I design everything. So anything from a manilla, a door handle, to a razor, to shoes, to beds, to luggage. You know, inside a hotel, there are things. There are beds and chairs and light and so on. So in fact, if you want to build the big picture, you build the big picture by looking at everything so that everything is elevated as a culture of quality. I've been talking to some people here in Milan, in fact yesterday, and they said to me, Ross, we will build a hotel at any level you want, anywhere in the world. Where would you do it? You know, and they will do it because I'm talking to them right now. And so I'm thinking about that because I quite like exotic places. I like places which are known in the world, but maybe not first cities. And I think that's an interesting development. So as a designer, I also work in architecture, and I'm working on a project now in the Dolomites, which is the beginning of something which is it's like sowing a seed of the future of the way sustainable architecture will be, and then we'll develop that in scale. It'll be a global concept. So deep down, I am an architect. I'm somebody who's just waiting to walk inside my structures. I've developed a basis in terms of material, technology, and form, which I'm now going to apply to bigger scale projects. Concept to make a sort of refuge or an observatory. And when you talk about observatory, there's 2 ways to look at it. There's one where human beings themselves are observing nature, and most people don't get a really they don't get a possibility to do that. A couple of years ago I was down in the Philippines. I was in Mindanao Island, and we set up a telescope, and I mean, you can see Saturn, you can see wonderful things which you just don't see every day. So there's a concept of seeing and being seen. Alta Badia is a place which has seriously beautiful people who go there, intelligent people in the media, people in different areas that go to Alta Badia, who love this idea of glamour and sport, if you like. So fitness and glamour, and I'm interested in the fitness in objects. So the work I'm going to do now, the project I'm going to do with the refuge, is going to express a lot of this. There's going to be a fitness in the design, but it's going to be something very, very sensual, something incredibly private, but it's going to be of a multi-use. So you'll be able to see out of this and see the stars. You'll be able to see each other in a new way. And it's a sort of, if you want it to be a love nest, it'll be a love nest. But if you want to see the stars, you'll see the stars. So this is a unique concept which is applicable all over the world, in fact. I don't like standardized anything, to be honest. I mean, I don't like what I call gap culture. So, you know, one can be an elitist. I think if you've got so many people on the planet, we need to find ways to be unique. I like unique people, I like unique situations, and I put that uniqueness into the design that I do. So that's one thing. If we talk about sustainability, maybe today I'm the #1 voice for the concept of beauty and logic in sustainability. I've been doing this since I was 16, so it was not a fashion then, and maybe it's not a fashion now, but if we did make it fashionable, maybe the world would be a better place. This is something we need to support. Luxury is something which is very beautiful, but a culture of quality is what interests me. So whatever I do, in whichever situation, I explore the culture of quality. Recently I launched the world's lightest rigid suitcase. It's for Globetrotter. It's called Globetrotter 110. It's made in fibra de carbonio, and it's 1.4 kilos. It doesn't even have a lining inside the case, and if you want to take your laptop, I tell people, put it inside your sweater, or put your adapter for your phone inside your socks. Because we can't be flying around the world all the time with all this weight and duty-free and bottles of whiskey. I really don't understand that. So maybe we need to fly but be grounded, but the whole system of how we move around, hospitality on aircraft, hospitality in lounges, hospitality when you arrive, there should be a seamless experience, if we can, to iron this out. It's often about money, so it can be quite elitist, but the work I'm looking at with sustainability is to be super beautiful. Solar Tree for Artemide has captured people's imagination as the icon of sustainability. But the work we're going to do now in Corvara, Alta Badia, is going to take that to a next step. It will be absolutely stunning.